for drag racing. When these pros get through with them, there's really not too much left that originated in Detroit. The rules are very strict, but they do allow some modifications.
We'll see 16 of the best, and they'll eliminate themselves down to 8. And we've got Bagshaw and Landy coming out first, Steve.
Yes, we do. Dick Landy, a professional driver for the Dodge division of Chrysler Corporation. He lives in Northridge, California. All of these pro stockers are equipped with 4-speed transmissions, and they're really one of the most difficult cars in drag racing to drive. As we'll see, the driver very busy inside that cockpit. Here's Bill Bagshaw. Bagshaw, also a professional drag racer from North Hollywood, California. Calls himself the Red Light Bandit. Both drivers are away with green starts. A beautiful duel as they hammer the 4 speeds through the quarter mile. Dick Landy by no more than half a car length. And the machine just now having its body latched down, Big John Masmanian of Whittier, California, and his driver, Richard Sarunian, who is also his nephew. The Hawaiian being driven this year by young Butch Moss. Moss of Westminster, California. And you can bet just as soon as the snows melt in the east, this team will be headed out on their annual tour appearing at drag strips all over the United States. That's how they make their living.
I can't compete with that burnout, Steve.
You know, the burnouts really have added an awful lot to the show, not only as well as helping me elapse time. Generally, at most drag strips around the country, the funny cars will go up to the starting line and do burnouts from the starting line, sometimes almost a full quarter mile and back all the way back up again. Obviously, there's not time for that at a big meet here like the Winter Nationals.
I was about to comment that at first glance, a funny car just looks like a strange automobile. And then you see the driver sitting right dead in the middle of it, just as if it were any other type of racing machine, and you realize that it's something more than just what you'd see on the city street.
That's true, and even though there's nothing on these automobiles that's stock, not even the body, they're made out of very, very lightweight fiberglass. They're just because there's a strong product identity factor. The Chevy root for the Chevy funny cars, and the Ford for the Ford, and so forth. Masmanian, utilizing a Plymouth Barracuda appearing replica of a Plymouth Barracuda. Driver Richard Sarunian, strapped in. He's completed his burnouts, and he'll meet the Dodge of Roland Leong, appropriately named the Hawaiian. Inside the cockpit, you can see Butch Moss. Moss moving up very slowly. These machines utilize a 2-speed transmission. They have onboard fire extinguishers and every conceivable safety device. The nitromethane fumes are very strong against the mast. An unbelievable wheel stand by Richard Sarunian. Moss blazes the tires to victory. You'll seldom see a funny car stand on the bumper like that, Tom. Stock, Tom. And here is a rematch from last year. Sox and Martin's Plymouth Barracuda from Burlington, North Carolina. And
hey, Rob, can you bring that audio up for us?
The Chevrolet fans' favorite of Berwyn, Pennsylvania. These two men faced each other for the title last year, and Jacobs won it. That was the last.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not getting any audio on these at the moment.
Didn't win. They've won everything since. Grumpy Jenkins is known because of his real dedication more than anything else. You can't really talk to Bill in the pit area. He's very intent on what he's doing.
As this clip's not giving us audio at the moment, we can talk to you as it's going, but you can clearly see Ronnie Sox on the far side of the racetrack.
Okay, and here we see the tree in the right-hand portion of the
Great,
tree.
okay.
We see the pro start and the 2 cars lead. A beautiful start. Jenkins may have been out first, but Sox might have let him get away, knowing he can drive around him, and he does. Vantage point, it's very difficult to get a hold of him sometime. In the left-hand lane, Akron Arlen Vanke from Akron, Ohio. Here in the tower lane, a Plymouth Barracuda to challenge him. Vanke is due for a major NHRA event win. He's been runner-up at 2 championships in 1970.
He's got a race on his hands here.
But he pulls it out. In the tower lane. In the far lane is Wally Booth in a Chevrolet. Booth from Ohio, Landy from Northridge, California. The Chevrolet fans are on their feet. The Chrysler Corporation products have been ruling pro stock, but look at this, and they'll cheer for this one. Wally Booth. The crowd goes nuts. Booth. I guarantee you that if Wally Booth defeats Ronnie Sox with this independent, unsponsored Chevrolet, this place will be bedlam.
Well, they both had some comparable times. Sox, to get to the finals, had a 9.85, and Booth a 9.87.
Ronnie Sox was either winner or runner-up of every major NHRA event in 1970.
Look at the crowd beginning to come on to watch them.
Even the horseback officers are trying to get to a vantage point where they can see this race. Wally Booth, the crowd is being polled as to their favorites, and Booth outdrew Sox 3-1. But that's normal for the Chevrolets. They just seem to have more fans. Booth is staged. The biggest day in his drag racing career, the biggest moment. It's a green light start. Sox has an immediate advantage. The Chevrolet trying to catch him. He's not going to do it. No way. The Ram Chargers are legendary for building more horsepower than anybody else. The big difference and their big success has come from finally finding some reliability. They would always set low elapsed time, but the engines were like a grenade.
The Hawaiian's ready.
Somebody once said that the Ram Charger's car is like a gun. They put a bullet in it, the bullet's the motor, they shoot it, they put another bullet in it. They've been known to bring a whole truckload of motors and use a motor every run. Incredible guys. Roland Leon could make it 2 in a row. He is the defending champion car owner. Roland did it here in 1966 when he won the Winter Nationals and came back the next year with a different driver and won it again.
From the way they both burned out, they appear to be ready to go.
Boy, are they ready. The burnouts are so hard that the tire smoke has even filled up the cockpit. Butch Moss may be having a little trouble seeing out of that car. Listen to that Ram Charger's motor. Just crisp and clean. Moss hanging in the back, trying to get those extra burn-ins. I would imagine that pretty soon Buster is going to make him come to the starting line.
That was probably what the owner of the car was talking to the starter about. He's got his man working a little extra hard on it.
May very well be. May prove to be a wise move. A good strong burnout can be worth 15/100ths of a second sometimes.
And that just could be the difference, the way these two machines have performed.
Both cars are pre-staged. Neither driver wants to stage first. Finally, Goldstein does. Moss moves in behind him, and it's a beautiful start. What a finish. Gentlemen, Don Garlits, and that's the only introduction he needs. Look at Garlits. He's already shaking hands, and he hasn't left the starting line. From Seffner, Florida. And believe me, after this win and this new rear-engine dragster, he's the undisputed king. And I think for the fans' sake, he smoked the tires on purpose.
To this question, but I'll ask you anyway. The future of the rear-engine top-fuel dragster.
Well, I think it's here to stay. I believe that we'll see lots of cars built now because obviously the car is safer. The driver, I ran all day long, never got anything on my helmet or anything. It was just a nice, clean ride. The noise is not objectionable. You're not getting anything on your face. I believe we'll see a lot of cars. I believe this is the beginning of the end of the slingshot as we know it today.
Great Lakes Dragway with a fast, wide, 1,320-foot one-way street. Perfect weather, a jam-packed crowd. It was an ideal setting for a gathering of the monsters. Daddy himself, Don Garlits, going in lane 1 against the Puzzler. Garlits runs away with it and clocks a speed of 199.55 miles. Rudolph gets a beautiful hole shot and a winning ET of 6.83 to Johnny Paulson's 7.55. TV Tommy Ivo wins his first match against the Hot Rod Shop with an ET of 6.74 at 190 star and a wheel-to-wheel crowd pleaser. They come up with a 6.78 to Nicole's 6.83. Has always been a tough competitor, and nothing's changed as he screams to a 7.05 win. Bob Anderson gets a bad jump off the line, but comes on strong to beat Don Cook through the trap. Sitting for Tom McEwen's Mongoose, staging with Mel Hoy in the Swamp Fox. McEwen proves to be too much for Mel Hoy as he sizzles out a 6.76 at 205 miles. It was time for the wheel standards. Bill Shrewsbury with the L.A. Dart in lane 2 and Francis Monahan in lane 1. Watch them, they're wild. Both cars are up for the full run. Monahan wins it, and it looks like Shrewsbury may go all the way to Milwaukee. Corvette lines up with the trash truck. Look out, the trash truck lost it. When he bounced off the vet, the trash truck veered across the grass and through the wooden fence. The crews and ambulance are there in a hurry. Here's the accident again from a different angle. The Hemi under glass stages with Bill Golden's little red wagon. Bob Riggle takes the win in the Hemi under glass at 10.93 at over 125 miles an hour and on the rear wheel. With this run, Vic Brown in the Crates and Donovan Special put Tommy Ivo on the trailer with a winning ET of 6.6. Now Don the Snake Prudhomme moves up to the line against John Wiebe. Prudhomme's hot wheels are too hot for Wiebe, and Don screams through the traps with a time of 6.66. The tension Barron in lane 1 and the Hemi under glass in lane 2. Bob Riggle puts the nose in the air and the Hemi through the traps first with an ET of 11.54. Or explodes through the traps with an ET of 6.55 at a speed of 228 miles per hour. Two screamers put down a bed of rubber. The Fugitive in lane 1, the Hemi under glass in lane 2, and the countdown is on. Cars get a beautiful hole shot and fire into the air, but Riggle lets the Hemi cross the center line and the wheels come down. Metro Fuelers, Chris the Golden Greek in lane 1, with the Crates and Donovan Bullet driven by Vic Brown in lane 2. There's a malfunction and Chris never leaves the line. It's a solo run for Vic Brown.